Professor Millie Mail, the Hood Postman. You know that vibe, man. Retweet that vibe, matter of fact. Hey, just want to tap in with you right quick, man. It's Wisdom Wednesday, okay? The more society drift away from the truth, the more it would hate those who speaks it. But that's not what I'm really here for today. I know you guys need that wisdom, but I want to tell you a bartender story. Okay, let's get right into it. 1974. Man, it was 1974 was, I can remember it like yesterday, man. It was myself, Bruce Holyfield, Tiger, Yogi, Boo Boo, Killerator. See, the liquor store right there by Oaks Park had recently burned down, and we were able to confiscate all the alcohol and all the wine, and you know what I mean? We would have just like, it would just be everybody from the Red House, everybody from Oaks Park, Tucker, all the different streets over there in the neighborhood. But anyway, this one particular day, me, Tiger, Bruce, Killerator, Boo Boo, Yogi, to name a few. We're in there, you know, bartender came up there, we smoked, he got the weed, we got the drink, of course. We sitting there chilling and everything, and so we get tired of that. We decide to exit the park. So we exit the park on the Santa Fe side. While exiting the park, it's about 10 guys approaching us on bicycle, 10 speeds or whatever. You know what I mean? They see us and they start hollering, Paru, 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 Paru. You know, so bartender being he was, you know what I mean? He the big homie, you know, because we all grew up together. You got to understand. See, bartender grew up right smack in the dead of what is known as Santana. But at that time it was Oaks Park, and he lived on a street called Pearl, three houses from the corner. He had 3 sisters, 2 brothers. There was Malcolm, there was Jamie, and I don't remember his sister's name because they was older and they kind of like shook before we even got to know who they were, per se. So on this particular day, we in the park, man, just chilling. So bartender, man, he grew up with us. I'm telling you, he grew up with us, man. And a lot of people don't know this. And before I get back to the story, let me add this. And before there was ever a Pyru or ever there was a Oaks Park, matter of fact, it was Oaks Park businessman. There wasn't no crips or nothing like that. And Pyrus, there wasn't no Pyrus, okay? It was just park boys, and I think Ludus Park called themselves park boys or park hustlers or whatever. No Pyru, right? But everybody was known to go up to Ludus Park because they had the gym. They had the hardwood floor, man, and cats would go up there and you know, play basketball and all this stuff and, you know, participate in sports. So I think this is probably how a bartender got familiar with those guys over there, you know what I mean? And, you know, but anyway, so we all in the park, you know, and we come out through the gate and the guys approach us on a bicycle saying, Paru, Paru. So bartender thinking he protecting us or whatever, gonna save us from this situation, right? Which, see, you guys don't understand, back then we had relationships. The guys today do not have relationships. That's the part of the problem. No relationships. These guys that, you know, we had relationships, man. So therefore there was times when things occurred that were, well, based on the relationship, you didn't let it happen, period. So anyway, so the guys jumped off the bike. No, nigga, this is Crip. Nigga, this is, and it was Bitter Dog Bruno. Bitter Dog Bruno, Half Pint Bruno, LC, and about 8 other cats, maybe 7 other cats, all jump off on their bikes. All the dudes from, you know, off the Grandies or whatever. So Bitter Dog Bruno pulls out a ball, 38, and he talking crazy to bartender. So, you know, being that I'm with bartender and all my homies with it, so I step in between bartender and Bitter Dog Bruno. I look Bruno square in the eye and say, Bruno, listen, man. Listen, homie. I can't let you do this, man, because, you know what I mean? Just because y'all don't, you know, kick it when we do, you know. So, you know, after a little back and forth and everything, he understood what I was saying, you know what I mean? And he allowed the bartender to have that pass. So bartender, at this point, bartender pissed the fuck off. He just strike out, whoa, 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 whoa. Cut through the gate, go to the hole, through the trailer park, up Pearl come up on Pearl. Then he runs to the house. He go in the house, and by this time we go in that direction to see can we catch up with him. So he comes back out. He got like a sawed-off shotgun. It's a 410 over and under. So he said, man, where them niggas go? Them niggas go to the Red House. Them niggas, okay, they went to the Red House, but what you gonna do? He said, man, I'm finna go up there, bust on them. I said, bartender, listen. A couple of other homies spoke up. Listen, man, you was with us, homie. If you go up there and bust on them niggas gonna think that we with you and you did that, you know what I mean? Now you putting us in a position. So he understood that, you know what I mean? Based on the relationship that we had with him, he understood. He calmed down, and you know what I mean? Because here's the thing: sometimes you gotta lose the battle in order to win the war. And I don't know, did he ever catch back up with Video.Guru and them later on, or what? But we knew that day everybody was cool and safe. You know what I mean? Because they went on up there and did what they did at the Red House. You know what I mean? And he went on back to his house, you know what I mean, after we did everything we did, you know what I mean? Everybody was safe, free, and clear. But, a lot of people don't understand, man, that these relationships was built way before the Pyro and Crip came, you know what I mean? And then it's just other dudes from other sections of Compton that necessarily didn't get along because you live in a certain area. These are guys that often came in and created the habit in your section, you know what I mean, to where sometimes a couple of your homeboys might have a relationship and they talk to them and they talk it out, or either they duke it out, whatever. But we didn't get into all this, this gunplay and stuff, you know what I mean. But back to bartending, you know what I mean. Bartender brother Jamie, I love Jamie. Jamie used to ride up and down the street on his bike. He kept a clean swing, you know what I mean. And he drank RCs every day. RC, Malcolm, you know what I mean, he was going back and forth to New York. That's how you get the name New York, you know what I mean. He actually got a daughter that's living out there right now, you know what I mean. But man, just some real good dudes. But prior to that, like 71, 70, Bartender, Donald Duck Norwood, Hercules, which was Chester Norwood, Johnny Jones, which is the homie Big Johnny Jones, this nigga was like swole like Tookie, you know what I mean? He had that super build. But anyway, they all attended Whaley. Whaley Junior High is way on the opposite side of Ludus Park, bound by Atlantic, by a street called Gibson, which is now known as, where the Pyrus used to relatively be during their time, you know what I mean? Now it's called, I think, the Lime Hoods or something was over there, Cross Atlantic Lime Hoods, yeah. But back then, there wasn't no Cross Atlantics, there wasn't no Lime Hoods, there was only Pyrus and Bishops, you know what I mean? And I'll come back to that part, and then, because Bartender lived on Pearl Street, right? And this is another interesting thing. This is some interesting dynamics. Bartender lived on Pearl Street, right? And he created what was called Black Peace on Pearl Avenue, Pyru, right? But down the street, there was Blue Boy. Blue Boy came from L.A., which was 9 Deuce Bishops. He came to Compton and started the Bishop. His name is Michael Roseborough. He lived down the street, which was more closer to Rosecrans, and Bartender was more closer to Tucker. So often, us Oaks Park boys, we had a relationship with Blue Boy as well. So Bartender had like cats like Tony Washington, which was Cat, and Bill Ivy, Dwayne Ivy, and others that were, that was following him up under the Pearl Avenue stuff, man. But down the street, across Rosecrans, was Pearl with an M, which was known as Am Lane, but also Ludus Park. Those cats congregated down there, you know what I mean, with Big Herman Jr., Willie T, Stanley Pierce, Ricky Pierce, Freddie Higgs, Reggie Higgs, the twins, Terrence and Lawrence, and Volcano, and just a host of dudes. Jimmy Butler used to be down there. Even Benson Jones, who was a U.S. boy, he used to be down there because he went with one of my homie IB, Ivan Brooks, went with Jen Ellis, and Benson Jones went with one of her sisters. So, you know what I mean? I don't know how IB was sneaking down there at midnight. The homie Midnight be down there, you know what I mean? But anyway, all the Pyrus would be down there at the end of the block, and they be like, they used to be mad as a monk. They be mad at Blue Boy because all the Crips was at Blue Boy house, and they didn't understand that we had a relationship with this man, you know what I mean, before all this Crip and blood stuff. But anyway, all these cats, Michael Roseborough, Blue Boy, Bartender, Johnny Jones, Duck, the Lug and Jug, let's see, Roy Scott, Hercules, Robert Thomas, Johnny Jones, they all went to Whaley, like 69, 70, right? So at this time, these cats are referring to each other as little baby Black Panthers, you know what I mean? Because they all from Oaks Park, you know, not Lug and Jug, but Bartender was originally from Oaks Park. Now, he was never a Crip. Quote me on this. He was never a Crip. But before Crip and Blood, he was with the Oaks Park boys. You know, later on, he moved over there to there, like my homie Donald Prescott and Curtis Patrick. They were originally Pyrus, but came back home and became Crips after Tookie and Duck got kicked out of band and all that stuff came together. But so they was calling themselves baby Black Panthers. So, and this is not a funny situation. I mean, you know, I'm kind of laughing and being humorous about it. But what occurred at Whaley was JJ hit this other cat in the head, you know what I mean, for the reason, with a cake cutter. Remember the cake cutters you used to call me here? Hit him and hit cake cutter and killed him. So what happens, JJ gets sent to Youth Authority. Johnny Jones gets sent to Youth. Duck and Hercules, which is Chesternow with a Donaldwood, they get sent to the boys' home out in Banning, and this is where they met Tookie at. And this is how all this came about. When they met Tookie, is just when they embraced the Crip thing, you know what I mean? This happened about 71, 72. 71 actually. They embraced the Crip there, but then they come home in 72 to Compton, and that's when the Red Home got kicked out of Banning, and they wind up on Pine Street, which is right around the corner from Oaks Park. And this is how, when they had the big meeting in 1972 in Oaks Park, and when they just finally decided that Bartender wasn't going to be at this time, Curtis Patrick, Prescott, and all these guys and Barkis and all these guys have started to say, fuck it, we're gonna embrace the Crip. You know, they got rid of the Pyru thing, but Bartender refused. Bartender like stood his ground, like, man, nah, I ain't. But still, these dudes had relationships prior to then. But you know, the cats from Oaks Park was mad at him about that. But you know, he made his choice. You know, and they had to live with that. Although, you know what I mean, nobody from Oaks Park ever made a move on Bartender. Nobody from Oaks Park. Him and Duck got into it that one time, and after then, they went their separate ways, and you know what I mean, and that was that. You know what I mean? But I'm saying all this to say this, man. We have relationships back then, you know what I mean? Because I went to school with the Stanley Pitts, Ricky Pitts, Ricky Mooney, Zach Mosey. I went to school with, let's see, Randy McQuiller, Donald McQuiller. I went to school with Kenny Polk. I went to school with Eddie Oliver. Let's see, Pat Peterson, Ricky Peterson. Let's see, Diamond, Killer, Mike, just Porky was there. You know what I mean? I went to school with all these dudes at Whaley. You know what I mean? They was all Pyrus. You know what I mean? But prior to the year before that, we was all just regular people. You know what I mean? And just when we came back off the summer vacation, people had started drawing lines and building, you know, figuring out where they want to be as far as what the gangbang was. You know what I mean? There was no blood. There was really no, you know, the Crips was kind of saying, I don't know, they had to embrace the cuss thing, yeah, man. But, you know, people was dressing alike, looking alike. I remember the Pyrus had the Auburn patches on their right side. The Crips had the earring on the left. You know what I mean? So it's just a bit of history I wanted to share with you today, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And be sure to press like, subscribe, and share. And continue to follow Professor Melly Mill, the Hood Postman. And, you know, like I say, man, you know, retweet this vibe, man. And shout out to my boys out there. Lee Ford, you know what I mean? He's from the Pyru side. You know, that's my partner right there. Shout out to Stan Shepard. Stan Shepard got the Sharks, Demons, and Gangsters. He got the book out on audio. Go cop that. Shout out to Gangster Chronicles. Definitely shout out to my boy Kev Mack and S Mack from KM Videos, where content is king. And actually, be sure to keep your eye on my son Bosco. He's coming. I'm telling you, and man, it's gonna be fun, phenomenal. And be sure to follow that Gangster Uncovered, Hip Hop Uncovered. You know, with Big U was there in conjunction with FX. So, hope you guys enjoy it, man, and stay out this rain, man. Peace. I'm out.